Hello, ladies, and welcome to another episode of Her Sacred Threads podcast, a podcast created specifically for women who are looking to live their truth, reclaim their story, and create a life of transformation and purpose. I am your host, Bree, and today we are talking about something real, the struggle to show up for yourself. Because let's be honest, sometimes the hardest thing isn't the goal itself. So if you've been stuck, if you've been doubting yourself, this episode is for you. There are 5 things that I would suggest on your journey to showing up for yourself. The first one being to focus on the work and not the end goal. It's so easy to get caught up in dreaming about success, picturing the moment that you would make it, imagining the rewards, the lifestyle, the freedom. But the truth is, the goal means nothing if you don't put the work in. People who succeed are not the ones who stay fixated on the outcome. They are the ones who fall in love with the process. They get up and they do the work when no one is watching. They push through the days when it's not exciting, when nothing seems to be happening and they're frustrated. Focusing too much on the outcome can lead to anxiety. Anxiety can be overwhelming, and sometimes when we're overwhelmed, we freeze. Again, preventing us from making necessary steps to get to where we want to be. So instead of asking yourself, when will I get there? Instead, ask yourself, how can I show up today? Because the work is the only thing that moves you forward. The second piece of advice comes from so much experience, and that would be to stop trying to be an expert. Stop trying to be perfect and instead just be a student. Perfectionism has always been one of the biggest killers of my momentum. I'm waiting for the perfect skills, the perfect timing, the perfect setup, and in the meantime, nothing is getting done. And finally, I just had to ask myself, what if I stopped trying to be an expert and instead decided to become a student of my own journey? What if instead of aiming for flawlessness, I aimed for progress? Having that mindset shift really allowed me to see that it's not the end goal that I'm trying to fuel. It's my ambition that I'm trying to fuel. In other words, focus on what you have, not what you lack. For instance, take aspiring content creators, for example. It's easy to get caught up in, I need a better camera, I need more followers, I need more money. Again, leading you down a path of doing absolutely nothing and getting you nowhere closer to the goal you want to achieve. But what if you reframed that perspective? What if you actually have everything you need to start right now? When you focus on what you don't have, all you're doing is putting yourself in a powerless position. But when you focus on what you do have, you step into your power and your creativity. So going back to the example of new content creators, use your phone, use natural lighting, use free resources, work like the version of you that already made it. Tip number 4 would be to create a plan, but actually stick to the plan. For some people, they don't plan at all, and maybe that's why they struggle. For others, they plan so much that they never actually start. And then there are those who plan but do not stick to the plan. And real talk, your goals don't work unless you do. The key to overcoming this is putting your focus on small wins. Success isn't one big break. It is a series of small wins stacked upon each other. So instead of chasing an outcome, commit to daily habits, because that is where the real transformation happens. And last, but certainly not least, trust the process and let go of a timeline. This is a part of the journey that nobody likes to hear, but the truth is that you cannot determine the timing of your success. You can control the work, the effort, and the consistency, but you don't get to decide when the breakthrough happens. A lot of people give up because they believe that they should be farther along by now. But what if your success is closer than you think? And what if everything is unfolding in divine timing? If you knew that, would you continue to show up? Yes, you would. So keep showing up, even when it's slow, even when you don't feel like it, and even when no one is watching. Because one day the work will pay off and you will be so glad that you didn't quit. So to bring it home and wrap it up, remember these 5 things. 1, focus on the work, not the goal. 2, don't aim for perfection. Don't aim to be an expert. Instead, aim to be a student. 3, use what you have, because what you have is always enough. 4, plan and actually stick to the plan. And 5, and most importantly, trust the process. Your future self is waiting for you. So show up for her and show up for yourself today. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to hear this message today. And remember to keep going because your journey is sacred. That's a wrap for today. See you next week.